So, Virgil, you can just feel in and around the tunnel area just how important that win is for Liverpool tonight.
Yeah, massive, of course, not only because it's a derby, but because of this international break. We have this run-in of 9 games, and it was really important to start with 3 points, and hopefully that gives us momentum for the rest of the season.
It did seem to lack a little bit of spark, though, didn't it, Virgil, in the first half and up until the second? What was the reason behind that in the first half, the rhythm of the game?
You play against Everton, they make it very difficult for you, and obviously we've seen the games that we played against each other over the last couple of years. It's always been tough, and they have a certain way of playing that you have to be ready for in all aspects. And so yeah, the first half obviously was not our greatest. Obviously we kept the clean sheet, that's the most important thing, and obviously Jota made a fantastic goal, and we kept a clean sheet overall, and 3 points, so we move on.
Did you feel there was a little bit of a hangover as well because of what happened at Goodison Park back in February and the manner of that game?
No, not at all. Not at all. We didn't even watch many clips of that game, to be absolutely honest with you. We know this game is always going to be tough, and today it was the same. A very direct second ball fight. Let us have the ball quite a lot, and obviously then on the break they can punish you, and could have done as well in the first half. But we stayed in the game and well deserved 3 points.
How much did you enjoy that goal, Diogo? It's been a while. Did you feel that one had been coming?
Yeah, of course. I always believe in myself. I always believe that the chances will come, and I need to be there to take them. Hopefully, this game starts a good run as well for me. That could be helpful for the team. But like I said, the 3 points was really the most important today.
Yeah, you say a good run for you, but more importantly, a good one for the team, because you know what's at stake, you know what you can do. You're within 13 points maximum now of this Premier League title.
Yeah, the only way is to keep winning games. Like I said, it was really important to start well today, this run-in, and give this team confidence to keep on going.
Virgil, did you feel Everton were lucky to finish with 10 men on the pitch, 10 players on the pitch?
I don't know. It is what it is. You know, it was. We couldn't. The referee and the VAR make decisions, and we all have to deal with it, and that's it.
You know how difficult, though, this run-in can be. You know how difficult these matches can be as well. But that's the challenge when you want to be Premier League winners, isn't it?
Of course, I think everyone wants to be in our position, and we work so hard to be in our position. And now we have to keep going, keep the same focus, keep the same mentality as we have been doing the whole season. The season so far has been outstanding, and we just have to keep going. And we have a tough one again in London on Sunday that we have to be ready for, and that will be the focus right now.
And you know also how hard it is to win these Player of the Match awards. And tonight it is Diogo. You scored the goal. You won in the Merseyside derby. Would you like to do the honours?
Of course. Well deserved, brother.
Thank you, mate. Yeah, thank you.
If you were watching the interview with Ibrahim Konate earlier on, you'll be glad you'll realise that you'll be glad that it wasn't Virgil van Dijk's Player of the Match award.
There's no way Konate was getting it.
Diogo Jota did get the win, but it was quite a low-key interview. It's felt that way around Anfield for the whole of the evening. It wasn't hugely celebratory at the final whistle. Why do you think that was?
I think it was more relief on the back of Liverpool have had to wait so long since that Newcastle game, and it wasn't just losing the game, it was the manner of the defeat, really. So that would have stayed with the players for a long time. They went away international duty, they've had to wait, no game at the weekend. And no matter how many people in our position or around the country say the league's over, when you're inside the club or you're the team who are deemed to have, the title's over, it never feels like that. And it probably even feels like that for Liverpool supporters towards the end of the game, very anxious within the stadium, just wanting that, final whistle to be blown, because, yeah, you can talk about the 12 points in front. No Arsenal fan thinks they've got any chance of winning the league, but Liverpool fans still think they do, and Liverpool players will. And as he said before the game, it's not done until it's done.
Duncan, you said earlier Everton defended really well in their own box. How did Liverpool make the breakthrough through Jota?
But a magic, really, wasn't it? That's what the game needed. Good feet. Obviously, there's a wee bit of... The boy was offside, wasn't he? Standing offside, but then he gets good feet, lovely feet, nice flick, and goes through. And that's probably the first time that Everton really would come and stuck in their box, because they were very good throughout the whole game at making clearances, getting their challenges in.
There he is, Luis Diaz, in the offside position. We'll clear that up in just a second, but what you can see is he doesn't make a move towards the ball, which is what the VAR is looking for when they judge that, as to whether or not he's illegally offside, rather than just standing in an offside position.
I mean, you can see Takos, he knows he's there, he looks at him, he actually puts his arm out as well to look at him, it's brilliant from Jota. But you see, just look at Tarkowski now. He has one look, he has another look, he points his arm there. Now, he doesn't probably go to ground if Luis Diaz isn't there. He probably just clears the ball up the pitch. But the fact Luis Diaz doesn't make any movement towards the ball, when you look at the rules, there was no way this was ever going to be overturned, because when, we'll look at the actual terminology now of the rules.
They may well look and think, well, he was aware that he was there and it affected what James Tarkowski did.
But Barthwaite's in there and he's noticing that he's putting his hand up, he's not concentrating, so he's looking for the offside. So when action comes towards him, he's not concentrating enough, so he's shouting for the offside, isn't he?
So he's not obstructing his line of vision. He isn't challenging for the ball. He isn't even attempting to play the ball or even really move towards it, and isn't making an obvious action which impacts on the ability of James Tarkowski to play the ball, because Tarkowski did play the ball, but he was standing in an offside position. Yeah,
and listen, when you go through that, it's not going to be given. That tells you that it's not offside. But I mean, we'll just look at it again. You just say, it's really interesting. Tarkowski, he's well aware of that. He's there. He makes a play to knock it into Ghana, and listen, it's brilliant from Jota, and it's probably the only real big chance Liverpool had in the game, certainly up until that stage. But I mean, there was something similar, I think, a few years ago, actually, with Harry Kane and Liverpool at a similar end of the pitch. I think Tottenham got the goal that day. But it's interesting, man, I'm commentating on that. Now, I think that's a goal when you actually look at the, go through the rule book. But I actually think it's unfair at times when a cross comes in and you actually see a defender sort of lunging for it. And as Duncan mentioned before, maybe I've past experience of that. But sometimes when you think someone's gone for a ball at full stretch because the attacker's there and they don't make an attempt for the ball, the defender puts it in his own goal or drops it to the feet of someone else and they score. I think that's very unfair. That one, I think, is a little bit different because Tarkowski isn't in a completely strange position or anything. He's still trying to play that ball into Ghana. So I think it's one of them. If it goes against you, you're frustrated. But I think in the main, most people want that as a goal. Yeah, a little bit of magic, as you say, from Diogo Jota. But you'd imagine that David Moyes is feeling pretty aggrieved. Here he is with Juliet Farrington.
David, you knew it was always going to be a difficult challenge tonight, coming here to Anfield, facing Liverpool in the position that they're in as well. Was it a challenge too far for you, do you feel?
I think we were a lot closer to them tonight in the two games than possibly when I came into the club I expected. I thought over the two games we've given them a really good game. Certainly the first one with a draw tonight was really tight, and there's an offside goal which they get, so that's the difference in the game tonight.
That offside goal then, you have spoken to the match officials. In the build up to that goal, you clearly feel it was offside, should have been ruled out. I do.
I think the players behind Tarkowski interferes with them, clearing it. It's a clear offside. I think it's a very easy decision to give. I can't understand any reason why that wouldn't have been given offside. None at all.
In the first half, though, you had a decision that perhaps felt you were lucky that went your way with James Tarkowski and McAllister. How do you feel? What was your view of that?
My first thought was it was a brilliant tackle for a derby game, and tackle that maybe we would have seen a few years ago, but I understand that nowadays there's things slightly different with follow-throughs, etc. So yeah, we might have got a bit lucky, but that doesn't make, don't be sort of putting that with the goal, because the goal was a different incident which actually won Liverpool the game in the end.
And in the first half, you two could have had a goal with Beto through, struck the post, and he did prove to be quite a handful, didn't he, in the first half?
Look, we had a few chances, but look, we're not kidding ourselves on. Liverpool were the better team. There's no hiding the fact, but that's why they're top of the league, and we've not been in that position. But I think we showed great resilience, stuck at it, done a lot of really good things, made some chances. That one, what you're talking about, and it's just a bit gut wrenching when you feel as if the end result was come from some which we didn't think was deserved.
But right at the very end as well, you showed how much you wanted to get something out of this game by throwing everybody, albeit Mykolenko, but throwing everybody up for that corner right at the very end, that set piece.
Look, we're trying to get something out of the game. We were desperate to get something out of the game. We've been on a great run. The players have been doing brilliantly well. This is the first defeat in 10 games. So I thought no, Liverpool were better, but I thought we tried to close the gap in their levels to our levels tonight, and I thought for long periods we'd done a good job at it.
Just going back to those incidents and the two that you mentioned, and there were other incidents as well, it just kind of felt a little bit messy.
Yeah, so was the first game a little bit. It's good, you know, that maybe you know Liverpool are sort of thinking about Everton a little bit more than maybe in the past, and hopefully in the future they'll have to think a lot more about us. But look, at the moment, they're the best team in the league, and you know, their performance tonight was good, but we really stuck at it, and maybe a little bit unfortunate not to get something out of it.
And the run that you were on before coming into this match, you want to, despite the defeat, keep that uplift, that vibe that you've brought since you've been back at Everton, and keep that going and finish the season as strongly as you can.
Well, I'm actually looking forward to the games, what we've got. We're in a difficult period of games, but in a way I think I want to see how the team can deal with it. I thought tonight we've done a lot of things not as well as we should have done, but we also done some good things and showed why for long periods this season we've not conceded too many goals. But we've now got other big tests coming as well, so we're looking forward to them.
Yeah, the big test just around the corner, actually. That's Saturday lunchtime.
Yeah, it comes quick, doesn't it?
Well, go well. Thank you.
Thank you. See you later.
They have got some tough fixtures coming up, Everton. They're playing all the teams around the sort of Champions League places in the division. But he was saying in midweek, David Moyes, and bearing in mind this is the chat in the build-up to this game, that he thought that Everton and Liverpool were maybe as far apart as they had been in a long time. But over these two games now, after this match, he said they were much closer than maybe he thought they would be before he came into the club. Do you think that's a fair assessment?
Yeah, because score-wise it is, isn't it? It's a draw, and they've only lost one today. If you're looking at football-wise, possession-wise and things like that, they're well away from it. But no, for score-wise, they got a good draw at Goodison, and then you know it's a narrow defeat tonight. So they're definitely a wee bit closer on the score, that's for sure. And
they got the draw, as you say, at Goodison. It was a 1-0 defeat this evening, but David Moyes felt they could have got more from this game here at Anfield. Do you think they did enough to get that?
No, I didn't. No, first half I did. One or two, chances, counter-attacking chances. Beto obviously had two counter-attacking chances, one goal offside, one he hit the post. That was the big chance for them. Second half, there wasn't a lot of chances for Everton. Although Liverpool never had a lot of chances either. They had shots on goal, a lot of entries into the box. I thought Everton defended fantastically well, really did. The game plan was brilliant, and it took a wee bit of magic, didn't it, to break them down.
As you said, difficult fixtures coming up for Everton. They've got Arsenal and then Forest still to come, and playing those Champions League teams, or those teams challenging for Champions League places over the coming weeks. What do you think they need to get between now and the end of the season? They're very comfortable in terms of their league position and have been for a while. And sometimes you can lose that edge from the performances.
It's down to the manager, isn't it, to keep that motivation going. I think he talks about relegation. The three teams that are going to get relegated are down there. Everton have been safe for a long time, and it's just keeping the players motivated and getting results to climb that table. It's congested in there. A few results can get you up to the mid-table. So that's what we're looking to do, to keep the momentum going into for next season, to keep the fans on board, everybody on board, and to get results. That's the name of the game, just to get results.
Yeah, there's been a lot of talk about this new stadium, and obviously Everton fans will miss Goodison, one of the historic grounds in the Premier League. But the stadium's going to bring a lot to the city. It's going to bring a lot to the area, and Everton will be hoping it can bring a lot to them. Can they take momentum from this season into next if they finish strongly?
I think they can. They'll want to finish at Goodison. That'll be the big thing for them this season, to finish at Goodison, maybe go undefeated. They've gone a long while now since David Moyes has come in his first game. I think they lost at home to Aston Villa, I think. I mean, it looks fantastic. I drive past it most days.
Especially at night time, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I think you're right, Kelly. Listen, this stadium's for Everton. It's not just about the city, but I think even if you're a Liverpoolian within the city, you do look at it in awe. And as I said, I drive past it most days. It looks fantastic, and it'll be great for Everton, more importantly than anything, but also great for the city. It looks fantastic on the water there, and it will give them sort of great hope, because it feels like, to me, for the last 5 or 6 years, Everton's whole thing has been, I'll just get to the stadium. Make sure we're a Premier League club by the time we get to the stadium. Obviously, they have ownership issues and managerial issues, just stay in the Premier League, and they've done that. And I actually think it's brilliant that David Moyes is going to be the manager who takes them into the new stadium. And I said before the show that he's an Evertonian. He's not just Everton's manager, he feels like an Evertonian. And his interview was an Everton manager's interview who's lost at Anfield. you complain about the goal,
Yeah.
you defend your guy who might have got the red card, and you made it tough for Liverpool, and he's right, they did. Over these 2 games in the last sort of couple of months, they've made it really, really tough for Liverpool, and Liverpool have got more of that to come over the next few years with David Moyes as manager of Everton.
Well, hopefully we've explained the offside situation and as to why that wouldn't have been given by the officials. It might not be something that David Moyes wants to accept at the moment, but I think we've done that one. What we haven't looked at again is the James Tarkowski challenge. David Moyes said, you know, I don't want them kind of put in the balance there, and one weighs out the other one. But it was a challenge that, as he said, may have been more at home in previous derbies over previous decades.
Jamie would have got away with that one back in the day. But it's naughty, isn't it? He knows what he's doing. He's rolling over the top of the ball. He's gone right through it, you know, and he knows what he's doing there, and he's caught the boy a cracker. A bad one, real bad one.
I mean, listen, we know it's a bad tackle. We were no angels, you know, especially in these games. And someone will say, oh, how can you criticise them and show me a tackle on social media? I'm sure they will. But I saw this at the end, them coming together, and he's saying, I didn't mean it. We've all been there. Yeah. But, I go back to a challenge Tarkowski made as a Burnley player against an Everton player, and it was very similar. It was out on the touchline. He come right across, and I can't remember the Everton player. We were very strong on it that night, me and Gary, in the studio. Now, I know you can talk about maybe Everton got away with one, but he let Everton down in some ways, and that because 9 times out of 10 you get sent off for that. And then you're playing...
Well, no, not James Tarkowski, who is the joint record holder in the Premier League for most yellow cards without getting a red card. He's got 63, him and Oriol Romeo. So maybe he's judging it perfectly. Maybe he's just kind of playing on the edge.
No, but I think those tackles now, it is daft doing it from your own team's point of view, because with VAR, you shouldn't get away with it. And Everton should have been down to 10 men. They were in with a fighting chance there right until the last kick of the game. But if you get a man sent off so early in the game, so he's almost, it's not just about sort of leaving a tackling on a Liverpool player or getting away with one. Really, he let his team down, but he was very fortunate to get away with it.
Didn't feel an important win. It felt a huge win in the circumstances, coming back off back-to-back defeats against your local rivals, Everton, at Anfield.
Yeah, and against a very, very, very difficult team to play against because of their playing style. And that's not only for us, that's for every team, because they were 9 times in a row unbeaten. We've experienced this when we played them. So, very good manager has brought them back to life, and very, very difficult team to play against. The amount of shots they blocked, the effort they put in to defend inside their own box, and then of course a threat on the counter-attack. With every ball they have, they play long throw-ins. Oh, it's so difficult to play against them. But our boys showed immense character today. I think we've created more than we did in the away game. We were much more in the final third than we were in the away game. And in the end, we scored a good goal and kept a clean sheet.
Once you scored that goal, you kind of had that momentum with you that maybe you didn't have in the first half, because you could feel the frustration, a bit of edginess in and around the stadium.
Yeah, that I don't know, but I like much more what I saw than the away game. So I think Lucio was 15, 20 times in a 1v1 situation with their fullback, where in the away game, yeah, we only played the ball from Virgil to Ibu, from Virgil to Ibu. So I could feel that we were getting closer and closer and closer. But yeah, it's for a reason that they hardly ever concede a goal, hardly ever concede a chance, because they bring so many bodies back around their 18-yard box. And they've got players who are really well in blocking the shots, and it's of no use of bringing a high cross in, because their centre-backs are so good in defending that. So, yeah, for us, in the end, we knew that if we wanted to win this game, we had to keep a clean sheet, and scoring more than 1 goal would have been very hard, and that's why I'm so happy with that the 1 goal led to a win.
A lot of incident, though, in that match, wasn't there? Especially, well, throughout the game, but in the first half, early in the first half, James Tarkowski, Alexis McAllister. First of all, is Alexis okay?
Yeah, he is, because he kept on playing, so I assume he's okay. And he's used to something because he's from South America. But yeah, I think everybody has said something about it, so why should I add something to it? It's so obvious that it's not necessary for me to comment. Everyone else did, and I would prefer to talk about Diogo's goal or Curtis Jones' performance or something else than about the red card incident.
I know that, but it could have been a serious injury.
Could have been, but wasn't, fortunately. And he was lucky with that, yeah.
With Diogo's goal, do you feel it's been a long time coming? It's been quite a while since he's been on the score sheet. He's waited a long time for that, hasn't he?
Yeah, he did, and I think they were already in the game. In the first half, there was a moment where he was in a similar position, and again they blocked the shot. I think before the goal or after the goal, he was again in the same position, and they blocked the shot. So it's not, again, it's not easy to score against them, but great goal. Nice to see that I just saw when I was inside my room that according to the rules, it was a goal as well, so no one can complain about that.
There had been question marks over that as well.
There's always question marks if a goal, but the good thing is we've got rules, and the rules tells us that at least that's what they just showed on television, that it's a clear goal. Where I would be frustrated if I conceded, but then I'm frustrated about the rule and not about the execution of the rule, but because the execution of the rule was perfect from the referee. But the rule in itself is frustrating because I think you always have to help, in my opinion, the offensive team. And if some team wants to play a high press, which Everton doesn't do, but keep a high line, and if then someone is in offside position, you would love to see it as being offside, but that's not the rules. The people that make the rules are not there for the love of the game, they are just there for making the rules.
But it's a goal that puts you within 13 points maximum now of this Premier League title that you are chasing down.
Yeah, we are chasing down the best possible season we can have, and Everton showed today again how difficult it is to win a football game in the Premier League. And we know that we're going to face 8 very tough challenges. But as long as the players give as much as they did today, and if we play home games, the fans give us as much as they did today, we are in a very good position.
Good luck, thank you.
You're welcome.
They are in a very good position, and they have been for a little while, Liverpool. At the moment, they are 12 points clear of Arsenal at the top of the table. 13 points maximum required for them to lift a record-equalling 20th league title. It couldn't be much better for them, even though, as you pointed out several times, nobody's going to want to say it's over around the club.
No, and I think this weekend is interesting. I can see both Arsenal and Liverpool dropping points this weekend. I think it'll be a tough for Arsenal to go to Goodison. I said Everton want to keep that sort of run going, certainly at home, and try and maybe stay undefeated to the end of the season. So you see that game there. That's the Saturday midday game, and then Liverpool or Fulham. It's not an easy game. You know, you think of Liverpool actually drop points at home to Fulham as well. So I think this weekend could be an interesting one as well.
And yet the Opta percentage chances of Liverpool winning the trophy are at 99%. And that's actually rounded down from 99.2%.
Okay.
So it's kind of...
Listen, Liverpool are going to win the league. We all know that, but it's just... You want it done as quickly as you possibly can. This weekend might have a bit in Liverpool's favour. You know, Arsenal, drop points at Goodison. They've got Real Madrid in the back of the minds, and they've got a few injuries as well in the Fulham game. So maybe Mikel Arteta might think, you know what, we're going to go all in on maybe the Real Madrid game. And that might be his mentality between now and maybe how far they go in the Champions League as well. But I think Liverpool will drop points between now and the end of the season, but I also think Arsenal will as well. And I just think Arsenal have left themselves far too much to do.
What do you think, Duncan? What's your sense on the title race and how this one's going to play out? Not necessarily where it will end up, but how it will get there. As Jamie said, he thinks both teams are going to drop points.
I think teams will drop points, definitely. There's no easy games in the Premier League, as the Liverpool manager just said there. They're all tough games. Liverpool drop points, Arsenal will drop points, but they'll not drop enough, obviously. Liverpool will win the Premier League. But yeah, so they're a great team, aren't they? And it's well deserved. And but they will drop points. It's not easy, is it?
20th league title. Gary Neville has joined us from the gantry. Thoughts on the game, Gary? You said that there'll be plenty of these in a title-winning season.
Yeah, it wasn't spectacular from Liverpool, but that wasn't the most important thing tonight. They were really professional, particularly after they scored the goal. I thought they were outstanding. I think they've done that quite a few times this season, where they've kept the ball really well, managed the game. Everton really couldn't get any momentum. And the most important thing was the 3 points, just obviously after what had happened a couple of weeks ago. It would have been a long couple of weeks for the Liverpool players, for Arne Slot, but tonight they'll go into that dressing room and they'll sort of know that they're nearly there, and it'll be about making sure they don't make mistakes now.
First 1-0 win for Liverpool at home in the Premier League for 2 years, which shows that they're doing it in a slightly different way maybe under Arne Slot.
Yeah, like I say, I think that I'm stunned at where Liverpool are. I don't think we can rewrite history now and start saying because they've lost the Carabao Cup final, because they've gone out of Europe, this is a half disappointing season. This is an unbelievable season. To take over from Jurgen Klopp, a massive personality and character, who almost in some ways was, loved beyond words by Liverpool fans. You just thought there was going to be a drop-off. Everyone thought there would be a drop-off. I certainly did.
Thought or hoped?
Both. But to be fair, I actually thought there would be, genuinely. I just thought there's no way those Liverpool players would be able to react the same to a man who they've become so accustomed to sort of loving and getting used to. The style of play, the way in which he was. But Slot, because he's the absolute contradiction of Klopp in terms of his composure, his smoothness, his calmness, he just seems to be perfect in terms of what Liverpool needed this season. You've got to give it to everybody who appointed him, but also to the manager and the players.
Can I just ask you about the run-in as well, when Liverpool have this 12-point cushion? You've been in comfortable situations in Premier League title races before. How difficult or otherwise is it to maintain your focus?
I don't think this is difficult for Liverpool, and that's not me sort of making it sound like it's easy. I think when you've been there before, like a few of those players have, and don't get me wrong, Alisson, Van Dijk, Salah, Robertson, Trent Alexander-Arnold, they deserve a second Premier League title for how great players they've been. They've been knocking on the door of City for many, many years, and just because of City's brilliance, they haven't won 2 or 3 before. So I think they'll be really comfortable. I don't think there'll be any panic whatsoever because of those 5 or 6 senior players who've been there before and know to get over the line.
Will there be a sense of, look, it'll happen when it happens, or will they just want to get it done ASAP?
No, I think it's important they do it quite quickly, because I think you don't want that sentiment to build that it's been a poor season, Liverpool are just getting over the line, and sort of the fact they've gone out of Europe, the fact they've been obviously beaten by Newcastle. I think now it's really important they get it done quickly, that they win games. And tonight was the important part of that, because it was tough tonight. Everton made it difficult for them, but I thought they handled it well in the second half. First half wasn't great, but second half I thought they played really well.